public speaking is crap. Your guitar playing is crap. And your nose looks like a banana. What do you do when someone has some hurtful words for you? How do you protect your sensitive heart, your psyche from debilitating pain? Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy, and today that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Being someone who is a very introverted, introspective, sensitive guy, it's so easy to be shut down by some hurtful words. And today, I'd like to share with you how talking it out is actually a very effective way to laugh and let go and essentially deflect a lot of pain in life. And this stems from two friends, Jesse and May. I was reading and responding to their posts, and they were talking about just this topic, the idea that sometimes everything hurts, sometimes everybody hurts. And what can you do about it? Well, let's look at that insult. Your public speaking sucks, and your nose looks like a banana. Wow. Well, my public speaking's crap, eh? Well, at least it's fertilizing something. My nose looks like a banana? Really? Only my nose? I thought my entire being was like yellow on the outside and maybe white inside, right? You have the power in your words to change and deflect all of that toxicity, all of that pain. And let's talk and do a deep dive in this. I want to start with the first idea. Where did this idea come from for me? It happened over 30 years ago. I was like 17. And I had the pleasure of attending a martial arts gym. I'll never forget that day. It's not like one of those like McDojos where everyone's wearing belts and just like punching air. I went into this like really sweaty, hot room filled with grunts and big Eastern European men. I mean, tall, muscular guys. And they were, boom, hitting each other as hard as they could in the chest and the belly and the face. Sometimes they even poked each other with sticks. It was called the Russian martial arts. And me being a neophyte, little guy walking into the gym, I saw the head instructor, the master. His name is Vladimir Vasilyev. And he invited me to hit him as much as I want, as hard as I want, as many times as I could. So I was wailing on his body, and he was and laugh at you. And of course, that's a little disparaging, but he was laughing and talking about it. And I remember he said, breathing is the most important thing. It does so much for you. It heals you. It strengthens your posture. And basically, he said, laughter is good. Laughter corrects your breathing. That's how you deal with the pain. And it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Have you ever heard of laughing gas? What do dentists give people a long time ago when they were giving them root canals? They force them to laugh. And, you know, I can't speak much more about fighting. Obviously not something I can do. But I was left with this idea that if laughter can be useful in protecting you from fists, sticks, and stones, how much more useful and effective can it be in protecting you from harmful or hurtful words? And recently, I found some really good examples of it. Something called mean tweets. something called playground or play yard insults. So I'm just going to roll in a clip and let me know what you think.
Celebrities in particular get a lot of abuse on the internet, especially on Twitter, because you have this direct connection, and some people are just inherently cruel. Some people write very harsh things to famous people without even thinking about the fact that they are people. So tonight I wanted to give you a chance to think about it. What you don't see when you send a nasty tweet is that it can actually cause pain. Over the last few months, we've been asking some of our celebrity guests to read some actual tweets directed at them, and here they are for your amusement and hopefully reflection.
If Mike Piazza's hair caught fire and someone put it out with a cast iron skillet, you'd have Danny McBride.
There's a new show where James Van Der Beek plays James Van Der Beek. Guys, get your backpacks and boots. This is the apocalypse, I'm sure of it.
This is Scott Mills on BBC Radio 1.
And I'm Chris Stark.
And we are with Seth Rogen and Chloe Grace Moretz, and we're about to play the Playground Insults game. They are sitting face to face. The tension is high. We're in the commentary box. I'd like you to take it in turns to throw insults at each other. If one of you laughs, you're out the game. Now, who would like to start? Chloe?
Age before beauty.
If you have a decent insult in your head to start us off, Chloe. Thank you.
Chloe to serve.
Thank you.
You need a manicure. Horrible hangnails.
It's hereditary. You steal those boots from Marilyn Manson?
Almost a laugh there.
You trying to be Harry Potter with your 4 eyes today?
I just can't see very well. Your face that smells like garbage.
Isn't it kind of surprising that these famous people who are in the public eye all the time have really thick skins, but not necessarily hard hearts? In fact, you might even argue that their ego is a bit softer than most. Almost like instead of having brittle, sharp, hard steel, you have something that can bend and be tough to resilience, like to be resilient to impact, right? And I think that is really the lesson that we can learn from these famous people who are obviously critiqued and actually insulted by the public all the time. And so after watching this, I did reflect on the times I did this in my life. And it's actually not that hard when the person that insults you isn't that close to you. Like I recall participating in a speech contest, and as I was attending the registration desk, the guy behind there had heard me perform before, and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And for some reason, something slipped out of his mouth, and he said, "Oh, I hate you." I didn't know what to say. I just said, "Oh no!" And I started like pretending to cry. and he was maybe kind of surprised by the reaction, and he didn't say anything else. And almost like the insult rolled off of me. I also remember being at work, and a superior said to me, "You are a fool, and you will never succeed at anything." And I kind of thought to myself, I think I kind of quipped it quietly under my breath. I said, "You just contradicted yourself. I succeeded at being a fool." So obviously that discounts what you're saying. You contradict yourself. uh, so you can see, like, these could be really hurtful if I had taken them to heart. But words can deflect words. You have the power of meaning when you talk it out. Now, this is great if you just happen to be in the right state, and you're just feeling witty that day. But more often than not, you're not in that state. People kick you down when you're down. Um, Sometimes these are hurtful words from your childhood. when you didn't know what to do except for accept words at face value. And wouldn't you agree that the people that hurt you the most are the people that you love and care about the most? So I look back and I think, can you still talk it out? Can you heal yourself or deflect yourself from residual pain from the past? And I think you can. I'm going to share with you some of the hurtful words that I heard when I was a young person. So, one thing that I remember is I wasn't really one of the cool kids, as you can imagine, at high school. And I wasn't in high school, it was like grade 8. And I remember I was sick and I needed some notes. My cousin happened to be in the same class as me. And I don't know how it came about, but I told my mom I was asking for notes from my friends and my cousin, but I don't have them. And I felt like really low. And so I guess I was expecting my mom maybe to give some sympathy or something, but she said something else. She said, if your friends don't want to help you and your own cousin doesn't want to help you, you must be a real bastard at school. And it really bore in my heart. It was like, oh, I feel so bad already. And now even my mom doesn't think I'm that great. I was like devastated. But how to let go of that? She said the word bastard. I mean, now I think about it, I was like, Mom, you said I'm a bastard. What did you and Dad do out of wedlock? I'm sorry, that's not really classy, but it's 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 meeting an absurd word, a senseless hostility with more senselessness. Or maybe it's doing better, it's making logic. And the logic shows that those words were silly. Another example I remember from my mom. I remember when I was really young, I was probably under 10. My mom told me, you know what, I love your brother more than you. And I was just shocked. What, Mama? And for a while, I harbored that inside. I didn't talk about it to anyone. But I know my mother loves me. And whether she loves my dad, my brother, or my dad, or whoever more than me, does it really matter? I could say, Mom, I love my teddy bear more than you. So what? I love my teddy bear more than you. Do you see? It doesn't necessarily have to be true. It just has to make light from the impact of those words. You might think that I'm beating myself up, but I'm not. What I'm showing is that my ego are as soft as my words. And notice that when I said, I love my teddy bear more than you, I don't do that. It's not retaliation. I'm not trying to hurt the other person, just like we were talking about the master at the Russian martial arts. He didn't say, ha, 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 and use your laughter to break the eardrums of your opponent. The laughter's there to restore you. Laughter's there to get you breathing again, not to be stuck. Yeah. So when you think about those hurtful words, whether they're from a stranger, whether they're from someone you really love, whether they're from something you just read or heard, or whether it's something that's been buried deep inside of you for a long, long time, talk it out. And you'll find yourself kind of restored. Just don't beat yourself up with those words. Instead, give them a rebuttal, but not any rebuttal, a rebuttal that makes you laugh. um, now, this might be something that you think is a new idea. It's not. It's not. I think that this has existed from a long, long time ago. So if you have any hints or tips about how to change a negative situation into a positive one, how do you make that transmutation? Please share, because I can't think of a better topic in life that you can really Share with others to help them in the pain, the inevitable pain of life. With this in mind, I'd like to leave you with some immortal words that I just read. And it really has made me think, and I think it has a lot to do with the same spirit of the idea of using words this way. It has to do with insults. It comes from the Beatitudes, I think. It says, if someone slaps your right cheek, right, turn for them your other cheek. And this is the idea of an insult. Back in the old days, you took your right hand and you backhanded them to slap their right cheek to put them down. A long time ago, I thought turning the other cheek meant being a pacifist, but that's not what it's saying at all. It's saying that if you turn your other cheek, they have no choice, because they can't reach you the normal way, to do this. And this is no longer an insult. This is a sign of respect. This is us fighting as equals. I'm treating you like not a lesser person, but an equal combatant. It's a change of thinking, isn't it? In the same way, if I use my left hand to do the same action, I'm a deviant. I'm a sinister. Nobody used their left hands back then unless you were a weirdo. And isn't it true? Using such harsh, hostile insults is truly a sign of being a bit weird. Something is wrong with the insulter most of the time. It isn't about you. Their need to hurt, their need to be hostile has nothing to do with you. It's the hurt inside of them that they're trying to get out. But instead of talking it out the right way, they're talking it out the wrong way. So I hope this is really useful to you. I hope it's been a source of laughter. And yeah, I really hope that in the future we can share, we can let go of our pains, and most importantly, laugh together. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you and hear about your ideas in the near future. So, ho, ho, ho! Talk to you later.